Although change clearly means opportunity, we usually don't see it like that. When faced with a move to a new city or a new job or a new team, the first thing we see is what we might lose. So fear of loss is always a problem when changes start to happen. The 5 things that we don't want to lose are, number 1, security. Security is quite a fundamental human driver, and any change means risk. Unknown things are going to happen, and this means loss of security. Mainly security of earnings, but also security of reputation, knowledge, the value of ourselves, our feeling of importance, and in fact, anything you can think of could be threatened by changes. And even if you're a risk taker, you need some foundation of security to build your risk upon, some knowledge that you'll still be employed next week, or your skills will still be valid, or that you've got enough money saved to have a few failures and still be okay. Change is the biggest threat to our all-important security. Second is fear of losing our social network, our friends, knowledge of who to go to if we need help, who we can trust, who we've built up favours and working relationships with. This can be a big investment if you've worked somewhere a long time. Third is fear of losing our knowledge. Anything changing will mean that our knowledge could become out of date. This could be technical knowledge, or it could be knowledge of the systems, how to get things done, how the place really works. In something like a reorganisation or a takeover, this could all be lost. And as we move to a knowledge-based economy, this is a pretty big thing to lose. Fourth is fear of losing our power. If things are changing, we might lose some of the power that we've built up, either formal power from our job position or informal power. You might have built up the ability to get things done by exchanging favours and having done things for people in the past, or building on the previous 2 of social contacts and knowledge, you might have power because you have a network that gets things done. And this could all be washed away. Finally, number 5 is freedom. As a result of power and knowledge and social contacts, you might have built up quite a bit of personal freedom, and now, as a result of a new boss or a reorganisation, you might lose all that, which would be incredibly annoying, depressing really. Fear of losing freedom may not seem as fundamental as losing security, but once you've tasted freedom, you hate to lose it. We'll deal with how to resist these feelings of loss later, but one thought just for now is that if you can get these from a number of different places, including outside of your work, then the risk is spread. Have lots of social networks, not just your work one, and have knowledge in lots of areas rather than one specialist one. Because I'm self-employed, I have lots of customers rather than one boss. So I'm not so worried if one of my customers decides to have a reorganisation. In fact, I just feel sorry for them. So I'm spread across a number of customers. And I also try to spread my knowledge across a number of subjects, in case project management suddenly becomes irrelevant and Gantt charts are no longer needed, as if that's ever going to happen. If you work for a boss, just one boss, this is harder to do, but you can still spread yourself across a number of knowledge areas and make sure that you have more to your life than your work. But more of this later. So that's the biggest problem with change, fear of loss. And it would be good to start thinking about that for yourself. What is it that you fear losing most? And is there something you can do to reduce that fear? Can you spread the risk in some way? Or make yourself less dependent on that social network or that knowledge or that power or that income?